Hi and welcome back to Nurturing Mom. In this video, I want to answer one of those million-dollar questions that I get so often. What is an epidural and should I use one or not? That's the question I'm going to be answering. So, what is an epidural? An epidural is the best form of anesthetic that can be given to a mother who is experiencing labor pains. So this information I'm going to give to you is as me as a childbirth educator and as a labor support specialist who is a doula. The best person to give you this information would be an anesthetist who administers the drug. But as a childbirth educator, I still do have some information that is good for you to know with regards to what an epidural is and what does it do for you and does it have any pros or cons. So once the drug is administered on your back, which is the epidural space, so there's a spinal space and then there's epidural space. So there's a little catheter that will be inserted into the epidural space of your back. So how the mother what the mother has to do is to position herself so that the doctor behind her back can insert a needle and then weave in the catheter, which is going to be left in your back for the entire time that you are having labor. So what the drug does is actually it numbs you from your waist down. So 20 minutes or about 20 minutes after the drug is inserted, you will be numb. You will not have any more pain, okay? Once that is done, you will have to lie down in your bed. We don't have that walking epidural. There's walking epidural abroad where you have the epidural, but one of your legs has some feeling and you're able to walk maybe to the bathroom and back again or slightly change positions, but still within the room, okay? Now, once you're numb, you're not going to be able to walk. So you're going to be lying down. This has to be done when you're in active labor, not before you start feeling cramping and you're like, oh my God, I don't want that pain. I want to have the epidural now. No, it cannot be put in too early. You've got to be in active labor. So above 4 centimeters dilation, where the pain now is starting to get stronger, 5, 6 centimeters, okay? It's a little bit stronger, then you can ask for the epidural to be given to you. Once it's administered, I've said you lie down. One thing it does, it will decrease your blood pressure. That's one of the main side effects of an epidural. It will decrease your blood pressure, and because of that, you will have an IV drip inserted, IV cannula inserted on your arm so that you can have a drip of fluid running, which will increase your blood volume and increase your blood pressure. Okay, so you have the catheter on your back and now you have the IV cannula with a drip running. Because it affects your blood pressure, your nurse or midwife will want to have an idea of what your blood pressure is, and this will be done every 5 minutes. So you'll have a blood pressure cuff on your arm checking your blood pressure almost every 5 to 10 minutes just so that they check that it's not too low, okay? Then, because you're numb, you're not having any pain, your doctor might decide to put up Syntocinon, which is a synthetic form of oxytocin, which is the hormone we produce when we're having contractions. So they'll want to increase the power of your contractions by putting Syntocinon. So you have another IV cannula on your arm to giving you the drug Syntocinon, which will increase the power of your contractions. And because you're not feeling numb, you shouldn't feel pain at all, but you may start to feel pressure when the baby is coming closer to being born. You are not going to be able to change positions. I always talk about let's change positions, which is a comfort measure for you in labor, and at the same time it's to help with your baby's descent down the birth canal. But now because you have your epidural, you're lying down, okay? Maybe on your left side or your right side on your back. So not much movement is taking place. That is a bit of a disadvantage. Secondly, that Syntocinon that I said is put on you, and Syntocinon, the other word is Pitocin. So if you read Pitocin, it's the same thing, it's Syntocinon. We call it Syntocinon here in Kenya. Now because you have the Syntocinon, sometimes it stresses your baby because you're increasing the power of your contractions. So every time the contractions is a lot much stronger, it does stress a baby. And because of that, they have to put 2 bands on your belly to check and monitor the baby. Are they distressed? What's their heart rate? When a contraction comes, what does it do to their fetal heart rate? Okay, so those 2 bands are strapped on you the whole time. So you're going to have the 2 bands. So on top of the blood pressure, the cuff on your hand, the Syntocinon, the fluid that is running, you have the 2 bands, okay? So you'll be able to change position in bed, but not out, because you have to have continuous fetal monitoring. That's the 2 bands. Okay, so the positive about the epidural is that you get to sleep because you've got no more pain. You are comfortable in the bed, but there's a risk of having your blood pressure going down. There's a risk of distressing your baby because you have to have the Syntocinon. You have to sit in bed and you can't use the different positions that I encourage, but you are comfortable. Okay, there are times in my practice where the mother has to have an epidural and requests the epidural, and then the baby gets distressed and you end up having to go to theater. Okay, the other times the mom is happy, the baby is born, but you have to use the vacuum extractor, which I've talked about. You can look for the video that I've talked about the vacuum extractor or vacuum delivery, because you don't end up pushing effectively. If the epidural is done right, they tend to taper off the drag, so you get to feel a bit of pain. Then you push the baby with that urge that you feel of bearing down. But if you're completely blocked even towards the end, you'll be pushing and someone's telling you, oh, your contraction is coming, now push. That's not natural. You should be the one telling us, oh my gosh, it's coming, it's coming. Then you bear down and push. Because you won't push effectively, then sometimes the doctor would actually need to use a vacuum to extract your baby. But if you're looking for a painkiller to completely block your pain, the epidural is what's going to do that. All right, I hope you've gotten to learn something. If you have and you know of a mom who is considering to have an epidural, please share this video, because it has a lot of information for what she needs to prepare for and get to know before she asks for that epidural. Shiro is here to support you, to educate you, and to empower you. Please subscribe to our videos. If you haven't, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Nurturing Moms, also on Facebook, and share this video with other moms. Thank you for watching Nurturing Moms.